my friend, and welcome back. My name is Hannah, and I want to talk about the new Kaleidos Smokey Nostalgia collection. I do have the entire collection in front of me. I did not receive it in PR. I actually bought it with my own money. And I'll save any thoughts and opinions towards the end. I've already done my base off of camera, so if you're interested in anything that I'm using or the items that I mentioned in this video, I will have links down below. To my understanding, Kaleidos has restocked on this collection. But I can't remember if it like sold out. I don't know, but let's dive into it. First things first, I got the order that didn't have the big jewelry box because I don't know, what was I gonna do with it? I don't really need it. And I mean, this is already like a pretty massive box. I don't know if this promotion was only for that like initial first drop, or if they're continuing this promotion with this specific set. But if you spent X amount of dollars, you got one of the lip masks, and then if you spent even more than that, you got the blush brush, which I'm happy because I really do like these items. I kind of like the apple one more than the agave one from like the first collection. And I think these lip masks are the absolute best. I really love these, so I think it was cool to have these as your prizes. Kaleidos usually does like different things with their orders. I know there was like, I got tattoos with the Flower Punk collection, and I don't know, what did they have with the last one, the Apple collection? I think you could buy like a fan or a paperweight. Looking at what's in front of me, there's 2 eyeshadow palettes, a thing of lip clays, and 2, 4, 5 blushes. I'm not gonna swatch these before I play with them, so I'll insert some B-roll here. I'll have B-roll of the 2 eyeshadow palettes. I believe one is like more black leaning and then the other one is more brown leaning. I will have swatches of the blushes as well, and I will have swatches of the lip clays. Let's zoom in so we can see exactly what's going on as I'm using these products. That may have looked like a seamless zoom in, but I did apply a little bit of that lip mask before I started this look. I don't know, my lips are feeling a little bit dry. I like the lip mask, say less. So let's talk about some of the items that I have in front of me. These are the 2 eyeshadow palettes. The packaging, I don't know, I think on camera this like would look confusing to you guys because I feel like on camera it looks exactly the same because only in person can you see the colors. Like I feel that the lace that they have on top hides the colors. I don't know, like I feel like any photos that I've seen, I've always thought, oh, this is gonna be really difficult to tell apart, especially if it's the same pattern on like everything. What I do think is confusing is that this black palette has like the pink packaging and the brown palette has the purple packaging. I don't know, I would put black and purple together and then like the brown and pink. Like why would this make me think, I don't know if you guys can see the pink in there, but I don't know, why would that make me think of like a mostly black palette? The packaging feels nice, like this feels very weighted, very sturdy, but I wouldn't say that it feels luxury. I used to have like a little makeup chest when I was younger, you know, like one with a little latch, and it would close and make like a little clicky sound. I think that's a chest. Anyway, I had like a similar like texture to this, and I enjoy it. This is like very nostalgic for me, and maybe that's the whole like, oh my gosh, maybe they also had the same box. Weird how that works. They really got me. So I guess the packaging really captures what this collection is supposed to be about. I think there's no names on the items, so this is just gonna be an item in your collection. When you look at it, you know exactly what's in there, but you couldn't like, you would just call it the black palette probably, or the pink blush. And that's like, I mean, that's fine if you're not filming a video trying to tell people about products, because I would like to use the product name, because that's what you're going to take to go to the website. This is the palette I'm going to play with today. There aren't names of the shades either on the palette. It is on this plastic piece, and I don't know, I tried to keep these, but then eventually I'm just like, why am I holding on to this? It's garbage, and then it'll be in the trash, so we'll see. The names really just kind of tell you what they do. I do like the mirror in this compact. It's pretty big. But I'm going to start with It's already starting. What is the name of the shade? The Diffuse? It's like, I don't know. I call this t-shirt gray because all of my favorite gray t-shirts tend to be of this particular gray shade. But I don't know, maybe it's just like a mid-tone gray. And I'm just gonna pop that in my crease. Is this brush too big? I'm gonna take a smaller brush and get that on the outer corner of my lid and bring it up into my crease. I find that the Kaleidos formula is buildable. I like to go in with a lighter hand just because I know I'm someone who tends to go in very heavy-handed. And if I'm not using the right brush like before and it's way too big for what I'm trying to do, it can be kind of difficult for me to like readjust and fix my look, or at least save it from looking a mess. I feel like I really didn't have to do too much to get like coverage and opaqueness, but that's kind of what I'm used to from Kaleidos. I don't know, I think I was reading a lot that people were suspicious of this being like a different formula because a lot of brands tend to do their larger palettes with one lab and then their smaller like quads with another lab. Take like Huda Beauty, I know her big like holiday palettes are done in one lab, and then her smaller like, I don't know, are they 6-pan, 9-pan palettes? Those like Obsessions palettes are done somewhere else. This product feels very familiar to me, like I've used it before. I am going to take an angled brush and take the black shade Accentuate in the outer corner. I'm nervous because my favorite matte black eyeshadow is in one of my Kaleidos palettes. I believe it's the Sci-Fi Green. It has my favorite black matte of all time. And maybe they brought that shade back for this collection, or maybe they've reformulated it. I don't know how they could make it any better. I really enjoyed it, but we'll see. I'm just gonna stamp that on the outside and pull it in. I want like a deeper outer corner without just doing a whole big black dot on the side of my eye. I really had to take it in to my lash line. I don't know why I get so nervous. I think I'm afraid of like poking my eye out. And I'm gonna take this shade kind of just like a liner all the way across. Like I'm not doing anything too precise, anything, you know, too calculated. I'm just kind of getting the shade up and on and blending it out. I'm gonna go in with the shade Base, which is that lighter gray at the top. And I'm gonna apply this on my lid. Just kind of pat it in. I think that looks pretty good. And then where was that brush I was using? And then that brush I was using for the black shade, I'm just gonna kind of meet and blend together with that gray. Oh, I'm nervous. These are such dark shades, and for someone that's so very heavy-handed, I'm nervous, but I really like how these shadows are playing. These are very nice. Again, not something I'm unfamiliar with. They're performing as any Kaleidos shadow would. Looking closely, I do have a little bit of fallout of that gray right here, like the gray that I used on my lid. I'm gonna take the deeper gray and I'm just gonna stamp that on the outer corner. Kind of blend it out. And then take a little bit of the black. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. And just kind of blend that in. Connect my eyes so I don't look crazy. How fun. I wish I could just like copy and paste onto the other eye, but let me do the other eye off camera and I'll come right back and then we can play with some of the blushes and the lip products. I did go in with the Radiate shade, which was like the shimmer shade. I wanted to keep this a matte look, but I don't know. I felt like I had to at least show you before I swatched what these shades look like. It looks like a very wet liquid. If you've ever seen the Terminator movies, you know how like the guy can like places. That's what I think is going on with my eye. This palette makes me kind of want to do like a Terminator look. What is even a Terminator look? I don't know, but I'm inspired. We're moving on to blush. I'll end with the lips just because lining my lips and putting product on and talking is, I'm not very good at it. So let's do the blushes. I'm gonna go in with the shade Dream Walk, and I went and fished out the box so I could tell you the exact shade I'm using. It is the bright pink one. And when I say bright pink, I mean like super bright. I wanted to get my hands on that Dior Backstage blush, Something Bad. I know I could buy it off of the Dior website, but I don't know, I'm like, no, there has to be a pink blush that does the same kind of effect. I'm not saying Kaleidos duped it, I don't know, but I want it to kind of work in the same way because I watched Robert Welsh kind of test it out in one of his videos, and it gave him like this pink purple kind of like glow to his face that wasn't like his lighting, and it looked so cool. And the way that he talked about it, it just made me think, oh my gosh, this is like the sci-fi blush of my dreams. But that's how I got to this decision to use this bright pink one with this gray look. We'll see what happens. And I'm just gonna pop it right on the outer part of my cheek and kind of just blend it in. I'm not particularly pushing too hard into the pan. I want to see how buildable this blush is, but also, I don't know, I'm nervous about going in with like a very opaque blush. I don't know if it's giving me the same like Robert effect. Maybe I'll just watch his video and see. I think the Dior one is supposed to be more like kind of glowy. I think this is like a true matte. What does it say? A silken feather light pressed powder blush, delicately crafted for blendable, long-lasting coverage, exceptionally smooth and fine. This blush delivers a soft, matte, flush, sweet beyond imagination. Wow, a lot of words. Okay, so it is a matte blush. I like something that is a little bit more dewy. I hope that they do come out with like a dewy finish. I don't know, is that too much? Am I giving like super 80s family photo? Like super 80s bad perm, blue eyeshadow, red lip? Who knows? Oh my gosh, I didn't even put on mascara. I'm a monster. I like it. I think it's pretty cute. It was pretty easy to apply. I think my unsureness with application just comes from the shade and not so much the product. But I don't know, I just wanted to try something new and see if this was maybe like a dupe for one of those pinkier kind of blushes. But I like it. We'll see, like, I don't know, maybe it'll change its effect if I let it sit on my skin for a little bit. Like maybe it'll be more of like a satin matte. Who knows? Okay, and then the final part of this entire collection are the lip products, and I love these lip clays. I think it is one of the best formulas as far as like lip products go. I do not have the ability to work on my lips and speak at the same time, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Skinship. I believe this is their most nude shade in this set, at least. I can't remember what the other shades are off the top of my head, but I know that there is like a super red one, and I don't want to go in with that one with this look. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. But I will zoom us out so we can kind of see everything that I put on, and I can give you some of my thoughts and opinions. So this is the final look, and I'm not upset with how it came out. I am a little bit uncomfortable because this isn't like the type of look I usually go for. I do kind of regret putting that Terminator shade in my lids. I wish I kept it more matte, but I was also only doing this look to film this video, so it's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I'm about to like make dinner. First things first, the lip clays haven't changed. Absolutely love them. I think they are my favorite and the best lip products right now. I super love them. I have all of the more neutral nude leaning sets. You can buy the shades individually, so if you only wanted the Skinship shade, that was a little bit of a tongue twister, you can just buy this one. The palettes are also sold individually as well as the blushes. Do they have a blush set or like at least a blush duo? I don't know. But I know that they're back in stock currently. Again, I think I may have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I don't remember them going out of stock, but they're in stock, and I only know that because I had to check the Kaleidos Instagram to just confirm some of my information. But let's talk about the eyeshadow palettes. I don't think this is a new formula, but there is something different about them. This formula of these quads feel buttery, very buttery, more of like, they still performed exactly how I expected a Kaleidos shadow to perform. They were just noticeably softer, and like I could use softer motions to apply and blend the shadows. I don't know if they're testing out a new formula or if they want to try a different type of shade. You know what it kind of reminds me of? In the Natasha Denona palettes, she has these like cream to powder kind of eyeshadows in there. But like, I come from an era of makeup where you could only find makeup at like Walgreens, Rite Aids, Albertsons, you know, Safeway. There wasn't really Ultas and Sephora's. So for me, when I would try to do these looks in like 2004 and be like Marissa Cooper, it didn't look like this, and it got to the point where like you knew if you were trying to go in with a black shadow, that was it. You were gonna ruin the entire look, but you felt bold and you wanted to try. But this looks really good. Of course, I kind of have to let it live on my face and see how it responds and reacts, and you know, how it emulsifies to my skin. But for right now, and I've been sitting here for quite some time under some really hot lights, it looks pretty good. I enjoy it. I like it. So I'm curious to get into the more brown palette, because I think the most neutral shade Kaleidos has ever released is the Sashimi City palette. And there are some similar tones like this in that palette. So I would like to do like a side-by-side comparison just to see. Otherwise, I don't know. Like, I don't know how often I'm going to be reaching for this gray-black palette kind of thing. I went in with this very bright pink one. I think this is very on trend for me right now, or I guess just like in makeup in general, because I think ColourPop also released a very pink blush like this. But then when doesn't ColourPop release a very bright pink? Anyway, I like this. I like this formula. It kind of reminds me of the bronzer in the Charisma Contour palette. It doesn't look like anything in the pan, like not anything special, but when you get this on the skin and you work it in and you start like, you know, chiseling out your face, it is this is one of my favorite bronzers. The formula of the blushes and how they apply remind me of how that bronzer applies. So that makes me think that I can use this for other things outside of blush. And because I have the entire like set of them, I have so many different options, I guess. I'd never have to buy a blush again. I'm not buying another blush all year. So let me know in the comments down below, is there a specific kind of look you would like to see me recreate or maybe play with these products? Have you picked up anything from this collection? Are you even a fan of Kaleidos? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.